Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and today I am going to discuss about the concept of pressure balancing system. This is a part of mine maintenance system in case of when we are going to catch thinking for the catch fire or air and heat, how it will be done. And I told so many things in the last two videos about the cover diagram and how it is to be significant, and how the oxygen percentage and how methane will be explored in that videos. Okay, so this is the fire triangle. Here you can see that this is the line, this is line, this is line, so this is a triangle, and in the mean side that is a fire, and here it is heat, here it is air, and here it is fuel. So you can to deal with the fires in any of the following three approaches are adopted for cutting off the supply of oxygen to the fire area. As because if we will see in a different panel, when the carbon monoxide percentage will be very high, you mean that there is a fire or a spontaneous combustion. You always avoid the oxygen where it is going to connect it with the that spontaneous combustion portion. As because if you cut the oxygen, there will be no chances of fire. So here I am going to discuss those things very precisely, but you take your patience because this is a very important topic, and I must go for the coincides because time is very less, and you know that for that topic you have to have with your concentration. Okay, so first, increasing the resistance of leakage path that can be achieved by injection of sodium silicate, silica gel and cement slurry in coal pillars, side and roof of the galleries around the sealed area. As because when you know that we are generally spraying water spray, so water spray is one of the thing, but still one thing, after some time the water will be gone, as because the water cannot be sealed. So something chemical is required for to seal those portion for the prevent the oxygen cut off with the coal and to diminish the fire. So that sodium silicate, silica gel and the cement slurry in the coal pillars can avoid the fire in the side of the coal pillar. Okay, the sealed up area be maintained at a high pressure. Then the galleries out by infusing inert gas like N2 or CO2 is recommended. Inert gases also helps the controlling the fire. You know, inertization is the only process to diminish the fire as well as to reduce the fire chances. That's because N2 as well as the liquid nitrogen we are generally used in the deep panels presently for diminish the fire, and infusing the inert gases is the most important thing. You know, from the surface we are pushing nitrogen by a pipe or a channel so that it can directly go to the deep panel, and you know that is the most important thing, and every full panel will be sealed at that time, and only that N2 pipe will go to the panel, and from the air sample pipe we will get the reading of the carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, CH4, methane percentage, ethylene percentage, as well as the ethane percentage if it is there. Okay, and most important is the oxygen percentage. If oxygen percentage is less than 12%, so there is no chances of fire. And the another thing is pressure difference across the stopping be maintained as small as possible, as because I told you that in last video that pyrolysis of the coal is most important thing for the deep panel, and the pressure difference across the stoppings, as because if there is a closed system, I mean the sealed deep panel, and the most important the fire is that pressure difference, so that the inside pressure can be come to the outside. Okay, so if there is a pressure difference, high pressure difference, then will be chances of fire will be very high, as because there is a chances of leakage of oxygen, and oxygen will go from the intake to the inside of the panel, I mean the closed circuit. Closed circuit means closed different panels. So, and you know that air and fuel and the heat is the most important thing to catch a fire, and the oxygen percentage and the cover diagram, as well as the, you know that I told you that the Jones and Trickett ratio as well as the Graham ratio is very important to determine the fire. So the pressure balancing, to appreciate fully technique the pressure balancing, it is important to understand the behavior of the shield of area in respect of barometric pressure. And I told that this is the main graph, and this is available in any books or any notes, and you can see then surface barometric pressure one side, and here it is given surface barometric pressure, and this is the time of the day. You see that barometric pressure will be very high after 2 o'clock. You know that 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock you should off the suggesting sampling period. So this is the most suggesting sampling period, as because the pressure differential across the wall and the surface barometric pressure will be low at that time, and it will be high after the 4 o'clock. Okay, so you know that the time of the day equal to 2 to 4 o'clock, I mean 14.00 to 16.00 is the main sampling period for the air sample pipes. Okay, so the typical situation found in a mine when the shield of area here, you know that is the shield of area, I mean the depleting panel and the closed system, and here it is the stoppings basically 1 and 2, and it is the one fan is there, and this is the return airway. You know that from the return airway, that is the fan, and from the fan tip the air will go to the surface, and you know that it is the intake air, so there will be a pressure difference, and you know that is the pressure, the difference of the pressure, you know that that is the 2 p.m. when they took a sample from the stoppings. So there, if it is a stopping number 1 and stopping number 2, here it is stopping number 1 and stopping number 2 have mentioned. So pressure behavior of the stoppings is 1 and 2, here it is clearly given in this way, and the abnormal pressure behavior of the stoppings 1 and 2, that is the 2 stoppings, that is number 1 stoppings, there is at least 10 a.m. here it is the sample taken, and the pressure difference is at least 10 p.m. at night, and here it is the 2 p.m. where the day, here it is the sample taken. So abnormal pressure difference is be like this, as because which is totally different from the, there is lots of difference, quite difference from here to here. You can see that 1 and 2 basically the I mean that intake stopping and the return stopping. So here it is clearly visible that there is abnormal pressure difference. Okay, and there is a normal pressure behavior. Okay, so next slide, the dynamic balancing of the pressure technique. You know that is the panel, and the pressure chamber here is here, and the fire area is here, and the main pipe is this is has been given, this has been given, mean that is the main pipe, here it is mentioned here, that is the door, and from the fire area, and this is the return airway, this is the return airway, and you know that from that zone they are taking sample from the here. So you know that this is the return area, and intake will come here, and the return will be gone through the here. Okay, so you know that the flow through the chamber and the connecting pipe is mentioned utilizing the ventilating pressure of the mine itself. Here the ventilating pressure has been mentioned here, and the through connecting pipe it has been maintained properly, and the method can be conveniently applied for pressure balancing of large area involving a multiple number of stopping, as because you know that in a mine multiple number of stopping is there, that may be a ventilation stopping, that may be a sectionalization stopping. You know that sectionalization stopping thickness is 1 meter, and ventilation stopping is means 15 centimeters. So you know that 15 meter, I mean sorry, that is 15 meter, and that is 1 meter stopping, and this is that 15 centimeter stopping. Okay, so you know the method can be conveniently applied for pressure balancing for the large area and the involving multiple number of stoppings. So thus it can become an integral part of the mine ventilation system, and in this situation fan pressure can be increased so to the any desired level without increasing the hazards of the spontaneous heating, so that the pressure balancing can be possible, or the sufficient quantity of air, adequate quantity of air can be possible in the working phases. So this is a big science, but I will discuss you further. For successful application of the method of dynamic pressure balancing of pressure, following conditions need to be satisfied: that sealed area should not have connection to surface through the cracks or fissures, as because if subsidence is there, you should off the subsidence from the surface as well as from the underground, because if it is a crack, there also a huge chances of fire, and as well as the your mine will be totally aggravated fire. compared that not only problem of your mine or that not only hamper your man's life, that will be hamper with our society, as because nobody will stay in that situation in the surface also. So you know that the carbon dioxide will come from the underground to the surface. Okay, so that is the main important thing. And the amount of pressure difference that can be neutralized by adjustment of airflow through ventilation circuit is dependent on the ventilation layout and location of the affected zone. So the extent of the airflow adjustment is possible through ventilation circuits without adversely affecting the ventilation of the mine. So you know that the amount of pressure difference that can be neutralized by the adjustment of the airflow, as because when you are going and thinking for the airflow circuits, it depends on the ventilation layout and the location of the affected zones, and you know that is the depending panel they are telling what the chances of the fire or the fire zone is there. The extent of airflow adjustment is possible through the ventilation circuit without adversely affecting the ventilation of the mine. I told you earlier. So to neutralize the pressure differential across of a fire stoppings means 4.8 meters stoppings are there, as because in between those stoppings that is a whole fully concrete stopping, and in between the stopping a sand stacking will be there, or the sand as well as the fly ash packing. So that will be the fire stopping, and you know that is the pressure drop across the fire stopping should be monitored carefully 24 hours to know the range of pressure variation. Generally one pipe is there for the water percolations, also U-tube is there, and no other pipes are connected, but however that air sample point is there, so monitored, it can be monitored in the 24 hours to know the range of the pressure differences. Okay, and the airflow rates through the relevant circuits of a mine are the adjusted and the extent possible way. The pressure across the differential across the fire stopping is reduced to the minimum possible. Follow, you know that is the main thing, that relevant circuits of the mine are when adjusted in the extent possible without unduly affecting the ventilation at any district. But you know that is the most important thing, as well as the remnant pressure. Remnant means the less than the accurate pressure. What is this? The that is the, also you can tell that is the last pressure across the fire stopping, and the caused by the diurnal variation of the atmospheric pressure, or that produced by any chances of ventilation system of the mine, is to be neutralized by adjustment of airflow rate through the pressure chamber made for the purpose, and pipes connecting the pressure chamber to main intake as well as the retainer. This is as simple as that. So you know that is the most important thing, and I told you so many things regarding this in the other videos and as well as the earlier in this video. It has been observed that the control of fire and the balancing has to be maintained round the check for the number of days, extending to over a year in some cases, as because that is the monitoring part is the most important thing. You know that only monitoring can inculcate the safety of the mine and the main and our society and our researchers also. So to overcome this problem and make up maintenance of the perfect balancing over a long period and an easy task, and the automatic dynamic pressure neutralization device has been proposed. So the proposed device is capable for balancing pressure by automatic adjustment of airflow to pressure chamber by controlling valves in the pipes through the microprocessor based system, so that you can generally get that those things very earlier. Okay, thank you. If you like this video, please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you will be notified further. And whatever told I in the last videos, I will give you the link in the description, and you can visit the mine through this channel. So you, again I am telling you should subscribe my channel, and I will give you the link of the coal mines visit. Okay, thank you, best of luck.